Mm, very interesting, y'all. Underlying energy is the moon. Oh, okay. The moon is your underlying energy, Aries. Underneath that, you have the 10 of Pentacles. It's almost like you don't know where to go now that you're in a committed relationship or you're in a place of stability. It's like kind of confusing. Maybe you're dealing with some situations that seem a little scary in regards to commitment. Like you're not sure if you want to commit to something like that. But then at the same time, I do get this feeling that you are, there may be a lot of, there's some confusion right now. There's some uncertainty coming up here regarding the, getting in a relationship, right? It's uncertain. Love is uncertain. It always is. It has been. It's crazy. But your current state of being is justice. And Libra is your 7th house, right? So you act more like a Libra, or you typically should, right? In your relationships. You relate to people very well. Now, justice does come up in your current state of being right now. It could indicate that you guys are dealing with a situation where you guys are uniting with someone, tying up a knot potentially, because I'm not getting any negative cards here. I'm not getting any negative cards. I don't see no divorce, nothing like that. So I'm not going to go that divorce route. For some of you guys, it may be that you guys are balancing things out in your life right now, making amends, balancing things out, right? Not only settling the score, but you're evening the odds. You're putting balance in the situation. So I like that. What your desired outcome is the 9 of Cups. You guys want to feel content, happy. You feel like you've gotten your wish, or at least you're living in your wish right now, right? You have a wish, you have a dream, and I feel like ultimately, Aries, you want to go for it, right? You want to feel happy. You want to, you really want to just feel like, you're in a place of happiness. Okay, but the thing that's keeping you from being the 9 of Cups right now is the Knight of Cups. Right? The 9 of Cups can come to so many ways. It could be that somebody's inconsistent in how they feel. Somebody may not know what they want. There could be confusion in regards to that, right? This person may be like the ideal lover, but then they have this kind of weird thing about them that kind of throws you off, which is their inconsistency, right? Like I said, and how they feel. Now, this could also indicate here this person, the 9 of Cups, this could be not a person at all. It could be just an idea of a person. It could be your dream partner. Perhaps you don't know who you want or what your ideal person would be. For some of you guys, it could be that this is someone that you already know, someone from the past, or someone that's a friend that wants more, right? But then at the same time, you don't really know how you feel about them because of the moon. So there's a lot of things that could come up with this reading. But I feel like ultimately we're going to just kind of go with the neutral route, which is perhaps this is your ideal person. And there may not be an actual idea of how you feel about that, right? And it could be because of the Emperor, which is someone that is taking control of the situation, who does take control of the situation. This is your card, by the way, Aries. So it could be that this was perhaps you guys were taking control of your love life for a while, and you went after whatever it was that you want. And now you don't really know what you want. You have maybe you've conquered a lot of your dreams already, and now you're kind of like, well, what do I do now? What's happening next? Where do we go from here? Right? Maybe you guys have just kind of did everything and conquered your dreams. Right? You want to feel happy, but then at the same time, you may just be feeling like you're kind of feeling bored. You maybe not bored. You feel lost because the moon is is pretty much another way of saying darkness in a way, because the moon can only illuminate so much, right? You still have to navigate with your intuition. You have to trust your intuition here. And I feel like you had your own way of doing something. You were good doing it your own way, and then love started to come into play, and you're like, well, I don't know where to go from this, or I don't really see how I can kind of do the whole thing, right? For some of you guys. But then at the same time, right, you could be in a very loving and amazing relationship, but then you don't know where it goes from here. So kind of like, you don't know what to do. Well, the Fool here the Fool here is talking about taking a leap of faith and just starting something new, starting something fresh and brand new. Now, for some of you guys, it could be that you guys are either single, you don't have an idea what your partner is, or your partner, you don't have an idea of what you want as far as your emotions go. It may have to do with that, right? It could be that you may feel like you lost a sense of imagination as well, which could explain why you may feel like a little confused, a little bit lost. But you have the Fool here, which also talks about taking a risk. Taking a leap of faith. Right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards in here. And the Knight of Cups can indicate here that, it can mean dreams. It can mean that you have, maybe there's something that you want, and there has to been a lot of focus on what it is that you want. You want to be happy, you want to feel content, but maybe you haven't been focusing on what it is that you want because you've been busy taking control of your situation, right? You've been dealing with situations that, needed some attending to, perhaps. But if you were taking action in the past, right, obviously that means that, maybe the things that you wanted to do were kind of put on the sidelines, right? But the moon indicates confusion. It's almost like you have to trust your intuition right now, most importantly. Because the Fool, no matter what, no matter if the sun shining down, you can't see below that cliff, right? He's looking up in the sky. He's going with the flow, And I feel like the moon does indicate going with the flow, going with how things feel, right? Allowing yourself to just trust your intuition with something. Committing to how you feel. Because the Knight of Cups, he doesn't commit to how he feels. Okay, he just feels what he feels, and then he feels something else, and he goes and feels something else, right? And that's where you get the inconsistency portion of it. And I feel like right now it's starting from fresh. Go figure out what it is that you want, and then go for it, right? Then commit to that, run with it, allow yourself to just flow through it, right? But in your feelings, you have the Hermit, which does talk about isolation, not self-discovery, but looking within the self, right? Soul searching, finding the answers within yourself, confidence, right? Because the Fool also has confidence in himself. He's got nothing to worry about. He's got nothing to lose. And he doesn't need to worry about any outcome because he knows he'll be able to handle it in any situation. And I feel like the Hermit and the Fool are very similar. The thing is the Fool aged. So you have more experience, right? You have more experience. And I feel like right now it's some sort of inner soul search regarding how you feel and regarding what you want, right? You want to feel content and happy, but it's almost like someone has control of the relationship, or you always you have to take control of the situation. And it's kind of like it gets old. You're dealing with, it could be this. You could be dealing with somebody that's really stubborn right now, right? It's not really free and open. And it does kind of make you go within yourself and retract a little bit just to see exactly what you're getting out of the situation. Because justice is in your current state of being. You may have justice going on because the situation's imbalanced in the first place, and you need to look within yourself to figure out what it is that you want. Maybe the best way to handle your situation going forward is to start fresh. But again, there's no correct way or wrong way about going through something, because it's kind of at your own risk. Everything's at your own risk here. And it's trusting yourself to know that you can get through this confusing time, this time where your actions may, it may not turn out the best way, right? Your ruling planet is going retrograde. So all the action-oriented stuff, yeah, it's kind of taking a step back right now, looking within. And it may be that you may have gone for something that you wanted before, but now you don't know what you want. Now you don't know what to go for because you don't have the drive behind it. You don't have that fiery Mars passion with you to help you, go and execute something. And it's because there's probably some things that you haven't really decided on. But going with the flow by making a decision on something actually may be awesome. But the thing here is the Knight of Cups is inconsistent, like I said before, and your hopes and fears is the Ace of Pentacles, which perhaps tells me that you guys want something that's more stable, that's long-term, that can at least provide you some sort of stability, support, and security, right? It's the potential to get there, right? You want some excitement that leads you to somewhere that's stable. And I feel like you've kind of, perhaps for some of you guys have always kind of taken that route of, going with how you feel, like doing something, taking control of the situation, right? But also just doing what you feel in the moment. But now it may not work for you. So perhaps committing to the cup, that's the hard part, right? Because you don't know how that actually is going to turn out. Because you always had yourself to rely on. You always relied on yourself. But now that's the duality of the relationship here that kind of throws all that to the wind. You don't know necessarily where that leads, okay? And that's where the Fool comes in, taking the risk, going for it. Just do it, right? Trust yourself. Trust that you'll be able to, handle any crazy situation that comes in, because you are an Aries. and you can make anything work if you want to, right? Within reason, of course. Now with your outcome here, you do have this, the Three of Wands. It talks about, expectations waiting. There could be a distance here between you and your partner, and this may be your first time ever at a distance with your partner. All right, maybe you're at a long distance relationship. This is the new thing. You have someone that you love, but they're at a distance. But I don't necessarily think that, this is just the case, right? For some of you guys out there, maybe not in a long distance relationship. This could just be that you guys want to see your manifestation return. You want to see something come in through the work that you've been putting out there. And I feel like the outcome is saying that you will probably have to wait, but you also have to continue to do the best that you can at all times, right? Because, you are manifesting, but you have an open heart about it. Let's go ahead and see what the wisdom of the Oracle cards say. Wow. All right. So the situation here, it does talk about not worrying about time constraints, right? It talks about not really, measurement is all developed, is a man-made thing, right? This present, the past, present, future happens all at the same time. And it doesn't really matter what, how fast it's going. It just needs to be the focus needs to be happening on what's going on right now. Now, the Emperor does have a lot of control in this relationship. He controls how things work. He controls himself. He controls the situation. He knows how things work. But the thing here is, there's something new in the process that will require him to relinquish a little bit of his control. And sometimes TikTok can talk about letting go of trying to make things happen in the timeline that you want it. And I don't think you're trying to rush everything, but I feel like allowing things to just be and just going with the flow with sometimes it's actually very freeing. You don't have to worry about controlling everything. And I don't know if somebody is in your life right now that's controlling everything, or that perhaps maybe you're trying to shape things out, make things exactly how you want them to be, but maybe they can if you allow yourself to just go with it, right? Because the moon is such a strong energy, and it talks about trusting your intuition. Perhaps right now you just need to trust your intuition right now, and it will happen when it happens. If it doesn't happen now, it doesn't mean it will never happen. It just may take a little bit more time. Pentacles are energies that are very slow to manifest. And you do have the Ace of Pentacles in your hopes and fears. And especially if you want something long term and something that can last you quite some time, perhaps it just needs a little bit of time. Maybe it just needs a little more time. Okay. But being in the moment, like the Fool is, being in the moment is what's more important right now. See what the Whispers of Love says for this week. All right, you guys have demonstrate love. Okay, find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. Now, this could talk about, literally, spending time together or doing something sweet for someone that you love. But it could also talk about finding out what you love and then just doing it. Just going for it without sort of, with any kind of confirmation. You know what I mean? Just going for it. It could be that right there. So without worrying about, the end game or the outcome, you want to feel happy, perfect. You want to feel content, perfect. All you have to do now is just go with the flow, go with how you feel, and just run with it, right? And I feel like it's because you've always been in control. Now that you kind of feel like, you don't have a direction, you don't really have a drive, you don't have anything, just feel, just go with the flow. Just go with the flow right now. Don't really worry about having anything that you have to commit to. Don't worry about that, right? I said, pick what you want and then go for it. Well, it helps you do it, right? But at the same time, if it changes, go with that too. You don't have to control every aspect. You don't have to control every piece of it. If you feel right in the moment, do it. If you don't feel good in the moment and you want to do something else, do that. Being true to yourself right now is what's important. You're still in Leo season. You're allowed to go with what your heart wants. And if your heart says go for it, then you bet you're behind. You can definitely go for it.